Good morning. It's Good Friday. I have the day off. Super exciting. Um, so I switched things up, of course, as you can tell. But it's like the weather. The weather just freaking, I don't know what happened. Winter came back to Texas, y'all. so, um, kind of helped me with some clarity for things that have just been mulling over in my head. But, we all sit here and we go through these situations in life. And we sit here and we're like, man, I don't deserve this. Why is this happening to me? I'm a good person. And bad people even tell themselves that too. But when it comes down to it, there's situations that they're going to keep going around and around and around. It's the karmic wheel. I've talked about this before. But this video, I woke up being told, share a little bit about how you can start to recognize the lesson that you're overlooking. This is from my own personal understanding for myself. So your lessons are not going to be what I'm telling you. It's more so how I started to recognize what I was needing to learn. And it was finding, I'm trying to find the right words and how to explain this. It was finding the patterns for one, but also seeing where I self-sabotaged, where fear took over, where something that didn't start out toxic started to turn toxic and I didn't notice it. Because a lot of times we come into each other's lives because we're in the same parallel of healing, let's say, on the same path at that moment. Doesn't mean you'll stay that way, but that's another video for another time. So back to what I was saying about recognizing these patterns. It's like the last situation I just dealt with. That person was a smooth talker. He called himself Casanova towards the middle of the relationship, and he wasn't lying. Very smooth talker. Could convince you he wasn't doing something behind your back while he's doing it in your face. And that comes into that too much hope that this person isn't doing that. That just turns into wanting a situation to be something that it was not. Lying to myself, right? Not that person lying to me lying to me. So when it comes down to it, that's another issue that pops up when we're too forgiving, when we're afraid to be alone, when the unknown is a lot more scary than the misery of where we're at. So we have to learn to start breaking these ties, and you have to build yourself up in a way that you can handle breaking these ties. And it's like going cold turkey, quitting smoking, alcohol, whatever it is, So when it comes to choosing to be alone for the sake of your emotional, mental, physical, spiritual well-being, when you start making these purposeful decisions, you'll see your world start to change. But you have to recognize the patterns of what's going on, what you're allowing, the boundaries that you create, that you allow these people to punch through, flick at, roll their eyes at, them testing you. And when they begin to test you, understand they're showing you who they truly are. That they're not showing you a side of themselves that's not there. They're showing you the side that they're concealing from you. It goes to wearing a mask. So as you begin to see these patterns and the little things that are coming into your life, like an example for me is I'm overgiving. I basically helped somebody to a point that $8,000 just flew out of my bank account in my hand in a matter of 2 months. And in the end, they still weren't trying. So that's where the whole point of get on, get gone came into my life. You're not going to make me lose everything. I've given you most of what I have at that time. So, like I said, that example was to illustrate an overgiving nature, loving too deeply, trusting too much. And yeah, it'd be nice if every time someone lied, a red flag popped up and you're like, oh, okay, no, don't do that. That's not life. We have to learn to read each other, to read through the bullshit, let's say. Because when it comes down to the true fact of the equation, we're, sorry, I made some notes earlier that I was kind of looking at, which aren't anything other than understanding the lessons that you should be learning to move forward. That was to remind me what I was going to talk about, because I've done a lot in that time period up to making this video, which is very scattered, like the weather in South Texas. But anyways, also my throat chakra, it's like someone's going, don't tell my secrets. Don't sell me out. Because then what? Toxic people are alone. Oh my goodness. Toxic people should be alone and go heal, right? Instead of keep bringing lessons into our lives that we need to learn. Because a lot of times, like even with me, my healing, I've progressed so far. But it's like there's a crack in the door. I know there's still something left. If there wasn't, then I wouldn't be on the same vibrational level as toxic individuals that can get to me. So I will say the last lesson I had to learn and how I understood it was I prayed. I prayed that somebody would come into my life, right? Even wrote out a grocery list for this man. And things that were deal breakers and things that were acceptable. And when I met him, storm had rolled through. He came up. He was a month early, but right on time, I guess. Which is weird because I wasn't expecting to really meet him. The storm blew him in. And I didn't know at that time that the storm was bringing in a lesson that I was going to have to learn. And I knew this person was going through a lot. I was going through a lot. And we started going through a lot together. You know, we became friends. And very quickly, our friendship evolved. But we weren't evolving. I was learning and growing. He was backsliding into a toxic nature. So that's where I talked about earlier, where you can meet people that you're on the same energetic level with, but it doesn't mean that you're going to remain the same, because where I went this way, he went that way. But yet we remained here. It almost kept coming back to this situation. So that makes for a very volatile relationship. So if you're in a position where you're wanting to move forward in life, you know, you want to learn and grow and heal, make sure you're keeping up with what the partner or the person you're giving interest to is doing with their life as well. And it doesn't mean you need a play-by-play, because then that comes down to trust. You have trust issues if you need them to tell you every single step, every single thing that they're doing. Because we do have to have faith in a higher power, right? We do have to have faith that divine intervention works in its own time, and that we are all kind of players on the stage of divinity. But I know I keep going off kilter from how to learn the life lessons, but all these little morsels and bits and grains are helpful in putting together without me trying to tell you how to learn your lesson. No one can really tell you that. I'm just sharing with you what I've been through and how it helped me to highlight those lessons for myself. You know, and one of the biggest, I don't want to call it a mistake, one of the biggest setbacks for me was when I saw the true colors and I was like, no, because then I'd have to say not again. But I didn't want to say not again. I wanted to lie to myself and go, okay, it's not going to be the same this time. That was stupid, yo. That was the dumbest thing I could have done by saying, it's going to change. I was blatantly shown the facts. I was shown exactly how it was going to go. And I had to tell myself, nah, it'll change. Taught me real fast. I can't change anybody. The only person I can change is moi. And that person helped me to remember that don't waste your time and efforts on a fruitless situation, especially if you're dealing with toxic fruit, right? Because who's going to affect who? You going to bring life back to the toxicity that's withering and dying? No, but they're going to touch you, and guess what? You can't get that shit off. And then, oh no, it's eating you alive, and then you're losing your essence. So, learn the lessons. Tell yourself the truth. And I'm getting on to me more than anything because, come on, girl, get with it. You're smarter than that. Yes, it's okay to love, but don't love so blindly that you forget to protect and love yourself, right? I mean, that's pretty much what I did. I cast myself to the side and said, it's okay. I know my value. I know my worth. I can love them and help them. I did that for 16 years with a very, very abusive person. So when it comes down to it, I got away from that. Did it for another period of time with another person that fooled me at first. And then I tried one more time with another person that fooled me, even though I saw the truth in the matter. I still fooled myself. And in the end, I almost lost everything because I'm so busy fooling me that as a healer, they're going to be okay. And in all honesty, they are okay when they're around me. But then that leads to another toxic situation. Somebody that is codependent on your energy. These are energy vampires, folks. These are people that will drain the life out of you, take what they can, and leave. So instead of letting it get to that point, I didn't let this person choose to leave me. I told them, get out of my house. This is my home. I've built this. I've paid for this. I've taken care of this. I had the power in my hands. And I'll tell you, it kind of felt good, but at the same time, I knew this person was going off to have their life just blown up, destroyed because of the choices they'd made. That was one of the hardest things for me because I don't want to see people struggle and suffer, which is why I never learned the lesson of let them learn their lessons. And I kept taking on their energy, their weight, their drama, their chaos, their everything that was destroying their lives because that's what they chose. So if it comes down to it, save yourself. Nobody else is going to help you. And if you keep helping other people, and I'm talking to the healers right now, if we keep giving so much that we keep depleting, there's not enough crystals in the world to recharge us when there's nothing left because all the toxic people took over and won. This will never happen because there's a balance in light and dark. But when it's like an LED light, it's real bright at first, right? And then it begins to lose its charge. And these are ones that run off of batteries. And it's because that light is sucking the life out of the battery. Same thing. These false lights that come into our lives that we entertain as counterparts. They shine bright when they're next to us. They get around other people and the truth of the matter of who they are begins to shine. And then they have to come back and get recharged. But what are they doing to you? They're draining you. They're taking away your essence. They're squandering your gifts. So when it comes down to it, please protect yourself. And I know I didn't give you exactly the how-to on how to save yourself. Hey, but life does not come with a manual on how to save yourself. All I can do is give you a little bit of hope that I've been going through it. I've been learning. We can all do it. Takes a lot of patience, faith, hope, love, and just to know in your heart you deserve it. So I'm going to leave it at that, and I will probably be back here in a little bit because I'm off today and I love it. I've already had time to enjoy my tea, work out, watch the rain, sleep in. Oh my God, that was awesome. But I'll get back with you later. Peace, love, and light. Bye-bye.